So this scene starts off in the dark bedroom. I spent so much time recovering from symptoms from too many things or too much overload. And this is a very slow piece of the of everything, largely because, again, I spent so much time in this place, the dark room, recovering, and it kind of also highlights sort of how little there is to do when you're in this situation. Especially if you remember when I was unable to use phone or devices, although I was able to listen to some things after a while. So I journey out. This shows what I call the keyhole glasses. It was the glasses taped almost completely, except for this very small kind of a 1/4 inch by 1/16 of an inch slit for the right eye. So it just shows me, feeling around, trying to get to the microwave in this case. And I start the microwave, and then even with the layers of sound protection that I have on, this shows that the sound of the microwave becomes too much. And so I wind up having to start the microwave, leave, wait for the microwave to finish, and then come back. And in this case, essentially showing I found out the hard way. I got the green overlay signifying sickness, back to the room, lights out. Now the second thing that's happening here is here the microwave starts, the microwave sound starts playing again, and it's got this weird, overlay, almost echo-like quality to it. And this is representing tinnitus, which I use these headphones and white noise to try and counteract. But that would essentially be, I'd hear the microwave, I would leave, and then it would still kind of be there, almost like ringing in the ears, except it sort of sounds like a distant version of something I'd already heard. Now here we are, there's fireworks going on outside, and it sounds like huge explosions on the inside, just kind of, especially the bass waves rattling through me, and I'm furiously going through the white noise app trying to block it out. And then this kind of goes back, showing that the fireworks are really not that big of a deal, if unless you're kind of dealing with this sound sensitivity. So that was sort of what I call the dark side of the sensory armor as it was starting to take shape. This is sort of a replay of the similar events with sort of the lighter, a lighter feel to it. You can see that here the lens color changes, and partially because of that, I'm eventually able to look at my phone from an angle with the brightness turned all the way down, which is huge because then I'm able to start doing a little bit more things, as long as the screen doesn't move too much. Like I would close my eyes whenever I would scroll, things like that. But even as much as a pain that the kind of sensory armor was, and this is highlighting how much work I spent on the glasses portion, just hundreds and hundreds of hours trying to fix these things so there's no leaks from the side, leaks of light from the side, or too many, say, visible light bulbs even through the lenses. Despite kind of all that, it still afforded me freedoms that I didn't have before. I could go around the house, could use both eyes, which was largely because of those colored lenses, which was just a huge change in quality of life. I went from less than 1% of usable field of vision to closer to 5%. So next, after this, it kind of goes into some of the hobbies and things that I wound up eventually doing to sort of fill the time, not being able to work or go outside. And this is showing kind of some still life photography. This was really good because even on the days that I'd be feeling pretty bad, just kind of slumped over on a table, I could still, point my phone at something and snap a picture real quick. So as sort of a a little bit of musical comedy. The little interlude here comes back in. Now we're moving on to some of the other hobbies. This is, rope making out of recycled plastic. A number of just different things involving rope, and weaving was another thing. Made these 2 scarves, and that was something that I wasn't really interested in before the injury, but it turned out to be things that were really, really nice, and I could even weave with my eyes closed a lot of the time because the back and forth motion was I would get sick looking just at my own hands doing that. And finally, it shows the sort of replay of the fireworks, and it's the other side of the kind of the same coin, even though it was a pain and sometimes, frantic using the white noise to escape from things. Escape was at least sometimes possible, and I could survive things. And then this just has one more kind of musical joke to lighten things up a little bit. That's sort of the halfway point where the music comes back in a third time, but instead of going through another slideshow, it just ends. Next is building out that sensory armor.